Hi, how you doing? This is a very important video. You always hear Rastas say, words sound in power, words sound in power. Words sound in power is what it's all about. Yeah, so this is a very important episode on that. So the thing is it's about the order of Melchizedek. It's about Melchizedek. So in the King James Bible, we hear about Melchizedek, and there's actually very little information about it. Melchizedek, he's someone that visited Abraham. So, like in the Bible, the prophets would if they were a priest, they would go with Moses. They'd go into the Holy of Holies of the temple. They'd mix cannabis and a handful of other herbs, and they'd all bring their censers full of that herb mixture and fill the whole room full of cannabis smoke and breathe it in and out the nostrils, called the nostrils of the Lord, and they would experience the spirit, the THC, and would mysticize, and that would be the Lord coming to them, So seeing the Lord face to face is getting stoned with a holy man and discussing, with one another. So that was something that was done. So Melchizedek would make visits like that and just kind of set people straight. It's my guess that he was an alien, but it doesn't matter if that's true or not. But he's just a mysterious guy that shows up that teaches people stuff. So the thing is like, the whole world's like, there's only 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, the Torah. There's actually 10 books of Moses, and Moses supposedly went up to Mount Sinai and saw the Lord in a cloud, and who gave him the 10 commandments, and he wrote down the Bible and everything from it. But in the other books of Moses, which is more common in Ethiopia and in places where the Catholic Church couldn't take it out, but the Catholic Church took it out and hid it, and even the Jews don't do that, It's just kind of a hidden mystery taken out a long time ago. It's the other books of the Moses. It's a bunch of magical operations, and it makes Moses look like this Egyptian magician, because that's what he was, And many of the books they were taken out of the Bible. It's because they mentioned dragons and unicorns and anything that made it look like magic and magicians and witchcraft. They would take it out, including Melchizedek. So Melchizedek, he becomes this crucial thing, and one of the titles of the incarnation is the first high priest after the order of Melchizedek. Jesus is the first high priest after the order of Melchizedek. There's all this emphasis on Melchizedek, but it doesn't. We don't really know much about him. That's because they took the story of Melchizedek out of the Bible. This book, it's pretty hard to get. You might not be able to find it. It's a very special book. Ancient Mysteries of Melchizedek. It basically tries to add that back in, goes over the tetragram, the tetragrammation, and basically the Kabbalah, the world's absolute, and you may recognize that. Didn't I just see a tree of life in there somewhere? Yeah, right there. See, that's the Sephirah of. So basically, the order of Melchizedek, because the priests are like the book of Leviticus. The tribe of Levi, to be a priest, you had to be blood related to the tribe of Levi. And there was another group of priests that were like higher priests. They were Aaron, but Aaron was from Levi. So is Moses. Levi, Aaron, and Moses are all people from the tribe of Levi. So the people from that are high priests of Aaron, they have to be blood related not just to Levi, but to Aaron. And the priests, it's a blood lineage thing. But then we have the order of Melchizedek, which was something else that was kept to just the priests. Now we know in the ancient days, the priests and kings were the only ones that could read. This book makes it plain that the order of Melchizedek is the Kabbalah. Okay? So it's the Kabbalah. It puts emphasis on the Hebrew language, the Kabbalah does, and the meanings of the letters of the tetragrammation. Tetragrammation, the name of Jah, but really just the whole Bible. A really important part are the attributes. It doesn't say God or like that. Whenever in our Bible it says God and the Lord and all these things, but in Hebrew it would say, Yahweh El Elyon, or they were called. Whenever it refers to the name of God, it uses the attribute names. This is just something I wrote like 10 years ago on my dresser to help me pray. The right way to pray is to use the attribute names. Yahweh El Elyon, the Most High Power. Yahweh Tsebaoth, the owner of the hosts of heaven. Yahweh Nissi, our banner standard. Yahweh El Roi, the vision giver. Yahweh El Shaddai, the breasted one. Yahweh El Olam, rock of ages, ancient, everlasting power. So we got the attribute names, and that's an important part of the order of Melchizedek. So I'm gonna read some of the story of Melchizedek. It sure should be in the Bible, because it's like what it's all about. The birth of Melchizedek. And Methuselah said to the people, "Here is Ner. He will be in front of your face from the present day as a guide of the princes." And the people answered Methuselah, "Let it be so for us, and the word of Elohim, the Almighty Creator, be just as he said to you." And while Methuselah was speaking to the people, his spirit was convulsed, and kneeling on his knees, he stretched his hands to heaven, praying to Elohim, the Almighty Creator. And as he was praying, his spirit went out, and Ner and all the people hurried and constructed a sepulchre for Methuselah, and they placed for him incense and reeds and many holy things. And Ner came with many praises, and the people lifted up Methuselah's body, glorifying Yahweh. They performed the service for him at the sepulchre which they had made for him, and they covered him over. And the people said, "How blessed is Methuselah in front of the face of Elohim and in front of the face of all the people." And from there they assembled. And Ner said to the people, "Hurry up today, bring sheep and bulls and turtle doves and pigeons, so that we may make a sacrifice in front of the face of Elohim, the Almighty Creator, and rejoice today, and then go away to your houses." And the people gave heed to Ner the priest, and they hurried and they brought them and tied them up at the head of the altar. And Ner took the knife of sacrifice and slaughtered them in front of the face of Elohim, the Almighty Creator. And the people made merry in front of the face of Elohim all that day. They glorified Yahweh Elohim, the Savior of Ner, and in front of the face of the people. And from that day there was peace and order over all the earth in the days of Ner, 202 years. And then the people turned away from Elohim, the Almighty Creator, and they began to be envious one against another. And the people went to war against people, and race rose up against race, and struggled and insulted one another. Even if the lips were the same, nevertheless, the heart chose different things. For the devil became ruler for the third time. The first before paradise, the second was in paradise, and the third time was after paradise, and continuing right up to the flood. And there arose disputation and great turbulence. And Ner the priest heard and was greatly aggrieved. And he said in his heart, "In truth I have come to understand how the time has arrived that the saying which Elohim, the Almighty Creator, said to Methuselah, the father of my father Lamech, Behold, the wife of Ner, whose name was Sopanium, being sterile and never having at any time given birth to child by Ner. And Sopanium was in the time of her old age and the day of her death. She conceived in her womb, but Ner the priest had not slept with her, nor had he touched her from the day the Elohim Almighty Creator had appointed him to conduct the liturgy in front of the face of the people. And when Soponium saw her pregnancy, she was ashamed and embarrassed, and she hid herself during all the days until she gave birth, and not one of the people knew about it. And when 282 days had been completed, and the birth had begun to approach, and Ner remembered his wife, and he called her to himself in his house, so that he might converse with her. And Soponium came to Ner, her husband, and behold, she was pregnant, and the day appointed for giving birth was drawing near. And Ner saw her, and he became ashamed. And he said to her, What is this that you have done, O wife? And why have you disgraced me in front of the face of the people? And now depart from me, and go where you begin to disgrace of your womb, so that I might not defile my hands on account of you, and sin in front of the face of Elohim, the Almighty Creator. And Sopanium spoke to Ner, her husband, saying, O my El, which means strong one, behold, it is the time of my old age, and the day of my death has arrived. I do not understand how my menopause and the barrenness of my womb have been reversed. And Ner did not believe his wife. For the second time he said to her, Depart from me, or else I might assault you and commit a sin in front of the face of Elohim, the Almighty Creator. And it came to pass, when Ner had spoken to his wife Soponium, that Soponium fell down at Ner's feet and died. Ner was extremely distressed, and he said in his heart, Could this have happened because of my word? Since by word and thought a person can sin in front of the face of Elohim, the Almighty Creator? Now may Yahweh Chesed, the merciful, have mercy upon me. I know in truth in my heart that my hand was not upon her. And so I said, Glory to you, Elohim, Almighty Creator, because no one among mankind knows about this deed which Elohim, the Almighty Creator, has done. And Ner hurried, and he shut the door of his house, and he went to Noah his brother, and he reported to him everything that had happened in connection with his wife. And Noah hurried, and he came with Ner to his brother. He came to Ner's house because of the death of Soponium, and they discussed between themselves how her womb was at the time of giving birth. And Noah said to Ner, Don't let yourself be sorrowful, Ner, my brother, for Elohim, the Almighty Creator, today has covered up our scandal, and that nobody from the people knows this. Now let us go quickly and let us bury her secretly, and Elohim, the Almighty Creator, will cover up the scandal of our shame. And they placed Soponium on the bed, and they wrapped her around with black garments, and shut her in the house prepared for burial. They dug the grave in secret. And a child came out of the dead Soponium, and he sat on the bed at her side. And Noah and Ner came in to bury Soponium, and they saw the child sitting by the dead Soponium and wiping his clothing. And Noah and Ner were very terrified with a great fear, because the child was fully developed physically like a 3-year-old. And he spoke with his lips, and he blessed Elohim, the Almighty Creator. And Noah and Ner looked at him, and behold, the badge of priesthood was on his chest, and it was glorious in appearance. And Noah and Ner said, Behold, Yahweh is renewing the priesthood from blood related to us, just as he pleases. And Noah and Ner hurried, and they washed the child, and they dressed him in the garments of priesthood, and they gave him the holy bread, and he ate it. And they called his name Melchizedek. And Noah and Ner lifted up the body of Soponium, and divested her of the black garments, and they washed her, and they clothed her in exceptionally bright garments, and they built a shrine for her. Noah and Ner and Melchizedek came, and they buried her publicly. And Noah said to his brother Ner, "Look after the child in secret until the time, because the people will become treacherous in all of the earth, and they will begin to turn away from Yahweh, and having become totally ignorant, they will put him to death." And then Noah went away to his own place. And great lawlessness began to become abundant over all the earth in the days of Ner. And Ner began to worry excessively, especially about the child, saying, "How miserable is it for me, Yahweh El Olam, everlasting Creator, that in my days all lawlessness has begun to become abundant over the earth. And I realize how much nearer our end is over all the earth on account of lawlessness of the people. And now, Yahweh El Roi, vision giver, what is the vision about this child? And what is his destiny? And what will I do for him?" And Yahweh Shammaiah, the hearer, heeded Ner and appeared to him in a night vision. He said to him, "Ner, the great lawlessness which has come on the earth among the multitude I shall not tolerate. And behold, I desire now to send out a great destruction on the earth, and everything that stands on the earth shall perish. But concerning the child, don't be anxious, Ner, because in short, while I shall send my archestrate Michael, and he will take the child and put him in the paradise of Eden, in the paradise where Adam was formerly for 7 years, having the heavens upon all the time up until when he sinned. And the child will not perish along with those who are perishing in this generation." So that's, the Garden of Eden was in Ethiopia. Those mountains are higher than in Utah. So if there was a flood, it wouldn't cover the mountains of Ethiopia. That makes sense. "And I have revealed it, so that Melchizedek will be the priest to all holy priests, and I will establish him so that he will be the head of the priests of the future." And Ner rose from his sleep and blessed Elohim, the Almighty Creator, who had appeared to him, saying, "Blessed be Yahweh, the Elohim of my fathers, who has told me how he has made a great priest in my day, in the womb of my wife, because I had no child in this tribe who might become the great priest. And this is my son and your servant, and you are Yahweh Jedullah, the Great One. Therefore honor him together with your servants and great priests, with Sit, and Enos, and Rusi, and Anelim, and Prasadam, and Melaliel, and Serok, and Arusan, and Elim, and Enoch, and Methuselah, and me, and your servant Ner. And behold, Melchizedek will be the head of the 13 priests who existed before. And afterward, in the last generation, there will be another Melchizedek, the first of 12 priests, and the last will be head of all, a great archpriest, the word and power of Yahweh, who will perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. He, Melchizedek, will be priest and king in the place of Aksum, that is to say, in the center of the earth, where Adam was created, and there will be this final grave. And now in connection with the archpriest it is written how he also will be buried there, where the center of earth is, just as Adam also buried his own son there, Abel, whom his brother Cain murdered, for he lay for 3 years unburied, until he saw a bird called the jackdaw, how it buried its own young. I know the great confusion has come, and in confusion this generation will come to an end, and everyone will perish, except that Noah, my brother, will be preserved. And afterwards there will be a planting from his tribe, and there will be another people, and there will be another Melchizedek, the head of priests reigning over the people and performing the liturgy for Elohim, the Almighty Creator. And when the child had been 40 days in Ner's tent, Elohim, the Almighty Creator, said to Michael, "Go down unto the earth to Ner, the priest, and take my child Melchizedek, who is with him, and place him in the paradise of Eden for preservation. For the time is approaching, and I will pour out the water unto the earth, and everything that is on the earth will perish." Michael hurried and came down when it was night, and Ner was sleeping on his bed. And Michael appeared to him and said, "Thus says Elohim, the Almighty Creator, Ner, send the child to me whom I entrusted to you." And Ner did not realize who was speaking to him, and his heart was confused. And he said, "When the people find out about the child, they will seize him and kill him, because the heart of the people is deceitful in front of the face of Elohim, the Almighty Creator." Ner said to the one who was speaking, "The child is not with me. I don't know who you are." And he who was speaking to him answered, "Don't be frightened, Ner. I am Elohim's archistrate. Elohim has sent me, and behold, I shall take the child today. I will go with him, and I will place him in the paradise Eden, and there he will be forever. And when the 12th generation shall come into being, and there will be 1,070 years, and there will be born in that generation a righteous man. And Elohim, the Almighty Creator, will tell him that he should go out to the mountain where stands the ark of Noah your brother, and he will find there another Melchizedek, who has been living there for 7 years, hiding himself from the people who sacrifice to idols, so that they may not kill him. He will bring him out, and he will be the first priest and the king in the city Salem, in the style of this Melchizedek, the originator of priests. The years will be completed up to that time 3,432 from the beginning and the creation of Adam. And from that Melchizedek the priests will be 12 in number until the great Igumen. That is to say, the leader will bring out everything visible and invisible. And Ner understood the first dream and believed it. And having answered Michael, he said, "Blessed be Elohim, the Almighty Creator, who has glorified you today for me. And now bless your servant Ner, for we are coming close to departure from this world. And take the child, and do to him just as Elohim said to you." And Michael took the child on the same night on which he had come down, and he took him on his wings, and he placed him in the paradise Eden. And Ner got up in the morning, he went unto his tent, and he did not find the child. And there was instead of joy very great grief, because he had no other son except this one. Thus Ner ended his life, and after him there was no priest among the people. And from that great confusion arose on the earth. And Elohim, the Almighty Creator, called Noah unto the Mount Ararat, between Assyria and Armenia, in the land of Arabia, beside the ocean. He said to him, "Make there an ark with 300 lackets in length, and in width 50 lackets, and in height 30, and 2 stories in the middle, and its door of 1 lacket. And of their lackets 300, but ours also 15,000. And so of theirs 50, but of ours 2,500, and so theirs 30, but of ours 900, and of theirs on lacket, but of our 50. In agreement with this numeral, the Israelites keep measurements of Noah's ark, just as Elohim said to him, and they carry out their measurements in the same way, all the regulations even up to present day. Elohim, Yahweh Elohim, the Almighty Creator, opened the doors of the heavens, and rain came unto the earth for 150 days. And Noah was in the year 500. He fathered 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So Levi would come from Shem. After 100 years after the birth of his 3 sons, he went into the ark in the mouth, according to the Hebrews, luars, according to the Egyptians, Famano, on the 18th day. And the ark floated for 40 days, and in all they were in the ark 120 days. And he went into the ark, a son of 600 years, and in the 601st year of his life he went out from the ark in the mouth Famah, according to the Egyptians, but according to the Hebrews, Nisan, on the 28th day. After the flood he lived 350 years, and he died. He lived in all 950 years, according to Yahweh Elohim. And to him be glory, from the beginning and now and until the end, the whole era. Amen. So then Melchizedek appears in Genesis 14 through 20. You can read that for yourself because that's in the King James Bible, where Melchizedek appears before Abram, who later would be known as Abraham. And Abraham... So by word, Saponium, Melchizedek's mom, died. So it's a story of the power, word, sound, and power. With word we can create, we can destroy, we can stimulate life, or we can bring death. Word, sound, and power. That's why it's important how you pray. You don't just say God. God is G-A-W-D, the Assyrian Most High God. That's not the one you mean when Jah's your God. You mean Yahweh. So you can say Jah, which is short for Yahweh, or one of the attribute names, because that's what you mean. And it's not Jesus Christ. Jesus is mixing Yeshua, the Aramaic, with Zeus, and then Christ is just, they invented that out of just thin air. It's from Christos, the Greek god. So Jesus Christ is just making things all Greek. They're mixing in different religions and diluting what really is supposed to be happening. So word, sound, and power.